All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. Going to take a look at its, high intent Google searches that boudoir buyers are searching. See if it has BSS, and see if we're meeting the GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page one Google slots. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And as a result, we got our FSIC graph here in white. We got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps, the peeps searching for, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we're dealing with these types of peeps, we're making videos about BSS, or at least having these peeps come to us. And the lowest intent peeps way over on the right, we got so we talk about those peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad at Doctor, where we're talking about BLCS. Currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this happens, if we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, it means we're on page 2 or deeper. We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. And as a result, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. Our business is dying fast. Also, 1 slot page 1 Google, not good enough. That ain't good enough. It's because everyone else is going to have 1 slot on Google as well. So there's 10 organic slots. If everyone has 1 slot, guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We're not special. We're not looking special. We're not standing out. And guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of buyers are doing? They are clicking every single boudoir photography website, filling out every contact form, getting a quote from everyone, compressing prices, negotiating, getting the best price for them, just wasting our time, waste, 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 waste. And dude, and then it's like, at max, we're probably bringing in 10% of the people. And so, just real, real big waste of time. So this means our business is also then dying slowly. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And so it's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a few number of links page 1 on Google search. And the 2 deeper root causes that are causing that are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's more peeps getting, over time, more and more peeps actually increasing, become boudoir photographers, get new gear, get new iPhones, get new cameras. Then they're thrown up the Google My Business profile saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They got their boudoir website saying they now shoot boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. And more boudoir photographers over time for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer. Next, we got the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most people don't know about this. When boudoir photographers basically kind of didn't really think about it, just kind of automatically accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 1 slots page 1 on Google search, which is 100% incorrect. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. But boudoir photographers have auto accepted this, where they actually, let's say they got their website ranked number 7 page 1, and then market saturation happens, and they actually, they're position 2 on page 2. And as a result, they kind of just accept it. Like, well, I hope those new peeps delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So then Google can be nice and put me back on page 1. But no, that's not how it works. We can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So this leads to people not even thinking it's possible. They get more slots, so they don't even look for a solution. They haven't kind of broken out of that mental jail, that mental box. Now, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Remember, 0 1 slots on page 1 is boudoir search sameness. So if they got 0 1 slots on page 1, that means they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, dude, their business is dying fast. Disappearing boudoir photographer, they're on page 1. They got 1 slot on page 1, their business is dying slow. Now they're being compared to, they're 1 out of 10. They're being compared to all the other boudoir photographers. Everyone else has got 1 link. And as a result, their business is dying slow. Both situations, though, a disappearing boudoir photographer, it's basically the canary in the coal mine, kind of the red flag, the flashing warning light, telling us that the boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And as a result, I mean, it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when that happens, it's kind of like we think of it as the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America. The snow on the backside of those mountains, the east side. When that snow melts, what actually happens is it flows into streams, small streams, and to small rivers. And it actually all flows into the massive Amazon River. That Amazon River, everything flows into, that's page one Google search. So, but it all starts with saturating social search, showing up there for those highest intent boudoir buyer searches on social. And when we do that, that's the snow on the top of the backside, the east side of those Andes Mountains that we need. Everything flows. Everything happens because that snow's there. Everything happens because we execute SQ methodology correctly. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to still grow their business in the face of massive market saturation, and it gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And that is because, well, the only other solution I've seen provide that same benefit grows in a still able to grow in a or the chance to grow in a saturating more and more saturating market is having a large well-known brand. But dude, that does not satisfy our as fast as relatively quickly criteria. It's actually you know it takes like 5 to 10 years to do that. But guess what, dude? We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's jobs right now. So we need a solution that allows us to get results or gives us a shot right now. And the interesting thing about SQ methodology is actually my estimates is as we do it, as we run it, and we're doing so much more frequency across so many different search surfaces or different surfaces, my estimate is it enables us to build a brand approximately 8x as fast as traditional methods. So it's kind of like helps us build up that brand fast. I mean, imagine if you got a large well-known brand and you're still utilizing SQ methodology. I mean, dude, you're essentially unbeatable then in your area. Now, an example for SQ methodology, right now we are heading to, all right, we are going to go to Boston, Massachusetts. And let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers in Boston, Massachusetts. And with those 1 million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. And everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, all competing for page one Google search. And we ain't got no large, well-known brand yet. So our only chance of growing here, literally our only chance, basically we had zero chance before. But now we got one chance, is to utilize SQ methodology. Dude, and let's say we do it all the way to the max, like maximum ability. Let's say we're able to take the first 300 slots of social search, and we're able to take those, and those flow onto Google page one search. And let's say we're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when we take those, we are actually, basically, we are actually that's taking the first 30 pages on Google. So essentially, a boudoir buyer would have to scroll down to page, slot 301 in social search, or would have to go to basically Google page 31 with Google search in order to basically find any of our boudoir competitors. We already know 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So who the heck's going? Dude, who is going to page 31? Basically no one. So in this scenario, whose business is still growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying / becoming invisible / declining? Most likely all of our competing 999,999 boudoir photographers because they are not utilizing S-cubed methodology. And so this is, kind of an ultra example of what S-cubed methodology, could allow at like the most extreme end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, yeah, we get more slots, page one Google search. And every new slot we get, page one on Google search, we are actually kicking another boudoir photographer, competing boudoir photographer in our city off of Google search. And a lot of boudoir photographers actually like this initial benefit the best. So we can actually we can basically control who is on page one, which of our competitors are on page one of Google search for which keywords. We can relegate everyone, all those that we don't want on there, to page two or deeper if we put in the effort to get as many page one slots on Google search, as Google will give us. Now, page one visibility activates Boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, because if everyone else has one slot on page one of Google search, then what actually happens is us having 3 slots, we actually look, we're dominating them. Everyone else got one slot, and the ultra rare chance other peeps got 2 slots, then we're still dominating them as well. So 3 out of 10 slots is the minimum that GBC Universe recommends. And a boudoir photographer with BSV boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we've got our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. And we finally found the solution to S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now onto my results utilizing S-cubed methodology. So I started with having 0 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search. And let's see what I got for the organic slots here after utilizing it. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So during only 10 days, utilizing S-cubed methodology, I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search, and these are the results that I got. Now into the main event here. Going to see this boudoir photography business, see how the search is looking for the local and city search. Actually, they're both in this case. So if we got BSS, yes or no. So if we're in the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. All right, let's hit it. Bellingham, Washington. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. All right, so we do got one. Boom, we got one. All right, we got one. So we got 1 out of 10. And city's always the hardest one to rank for. So we got 1 out of 10. That's good. But we got BSS. We got boudoir search sameness. We also got we're not hitting the GBC recommended amount of 3 out of 10 page one slots on Google. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer and you actually want to, so you did the local search for yourself, highest intent buyer keywords for boudoir photo shoot in your city, and you saw that, and you did a local search and city search, and either you had BSS boudoir search sameness, or you simply did not reach the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots on page one in Google for either one or both of those searches. And you finally see that S-cubed methodology is your one path, your one solution forward out of everything. And you came to that conclusion because you realized, yeah, the false belief of page one equality is exactly that. It's false. So you broke through. Now you're like, okay, what are the ways I can take as many slots on page one on Google as possible? And you realize Google PPC ads ain't going to cut it because they only give you one extra slot, PPC at the top, even if there's 2 slots available. And the momentum dies once you stop paying. With S-cube saturation, there is still momentum. Not infinite momentum, but there's still momentum with the strategy that will, keep the positions for a time. And so you like that. You can get way more slots on page one than having, doing Google PPC. And you also understand the market saturation. Yeah, the 2 prongs, someone gets a new phone, iPhone, someone gets a new camera. Yeah. But they see this 3rd prong coming. And the 3rd prong you actually care about is, the 3rd prong you actually care about is the AI taking people's jobs, as people still got to earn money, and everyone's got to, smartphone with a great camera on it, it's going to be forcing way more boudoir photographers into the market, or at least way more people into the market to offer boudoir photography. Maybe they're new boudoir photographers. And so you like the initial benefits, getting more slots on Google. You like the initial extra benefit of kicking competitors off page 1 of Google so that they're relegated to page 2, effectively invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. Makes them disappear. They become a disappearing boudoir photographer, which means in short order their business will be disappearing as well. And you actually want the fortification benefits to prepare for AI bringing more and more boudoir photographers into the marketplace. And when you do that, again, executed methodology is the only solution that allows boudoir photographers to do that. It's kind of like building a levee like New Orleans has, because it's below sea level, so they build a the sandbag levee, keep the ocean out. And so you decide you're going to do this for your boudoir photography business. Keep the ocean of supply of boudoir photographers out of your turf, page 1 of Google. So you see an executed methodology is literally the only solution for you. Decide this is what you want to do to move forward with your business, to achieve page 1 visibility, to become a visible boudoir photographer, to have boudoir search visibility, because you know you need these things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the secret backend benefits of the execute methodology as well that we have not talked about yet. But the first ones being every single day we successfully execute methodology, what's actually happening is we're building these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, attached to our brand, attached to our website name, kind of our full name, our business name. And these only live in the AI mindshare, kind of the AI brain. And every day we successfully execute methodology, we're actually increasing the probability that we show up as in the premium slot, the one boudoir photographer recommended in the AI overview here at the top of Google search. So that's one extended benefit, or further away benefit. The second further away benefit is, again, every day we successfully execute methodology, we're increasing the probability all these different AI search options recommend us in their, in AI search. When someone's AI searching for boudoir photographer in their city, this is ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, and Microsoft Copilot, and Google Gemini. We're increasing the probability we get recommended these every day we do execute methodology because we're building the invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our business, columns of the Parthenon, building Athens, Greece, or think of it, hub and spoke, building these spokes off our business. And it's like invisible mindshare for AI. And you're also seeing, you decide you're going to be the early adopter, first adopter in your city because A, my plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, so you can close out all your competitors from using me by you hopping in with me. And B, that the more we execute daily on execute methodology, that the bigger initial benefits we get instantly, and also the bigger back-end momentum, AI mindshare benefits we get over time, creating a massive gap between you and all your competitors that they're basically never going to be able to catch up on. And so you decide to be a first mover in your city on that, because the converse is if a competitor works with me first, then they're going to be getting all those benefits, initial benefits, kicking you off page 1, making you disappear, building up the AI mindshare in the back end. And for you to compete, you would have to rederive SQ methodology, which you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, to use correctly. You will have to then go execute SQ methodology equal to us executing every day with your competitor. And again, you'll never be 100% confident. So you probably most likely won't put in the effort to equal us. But even if you do, you equal our effort, okay, you're maintaining the gap that we've already built. So gap being the same distance. So you'd have to double or triple our effort, our execution, utilizing SQ methodology, which I invented, to close the gap on us. Who's got that time? Who's got 80 hours in a day to do all that? So you decide, screw all that. It's better to simply be the first mover in my city, and let's actually lock this in and start getting these initial benefits and the delayed benefits, the invisible mindshare AI and the AI brain benefits. So that's you. Shoot me a DM. When my DM's open, my DMs are currently not open. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. But if when I do open the DMs, when I do open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot me a DM. And we will see if you qualify for using S-cubed methodology.